So this is the Campark X15 Ultra HD 4K action camera with Wi-Fi built in, electronic image stabilizer and touchscreen. So let's open the box and see what it's like inside. Straight away we've got the action camera. If I lift it out, it's got this inside its case at the moment, so I just need to cover off. There we go, it's a bit clearer now. There's usually a cover on the front, but I've already opened it a few minutes ago to just check it. There's an action camera inside. We'll have a look at that in a few minutes. And you get a battery, and there's a battery inside that. I've already put one in, so you get two batteries, which is nice. A manual, and it looks like, yeah, loads of accessories. Yeah, that's it, yeah. That's all. A ton of accessories, and you can see there's loads of them. You've got straps with a cleaner for the lens. You've got clips for all sorts of things, for the bike, for the side of your waist. So what I'm going to use it for, yeah, different extensions. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to adjust it for you inside the car, and I'll take it from there. We've also got a spare case for the back, or a section for a strap. So here it is, the Campark action camera. It's in its waterproof case. I'll just take it out of the case so you can see a better look of it. And there's a little quick footage there of the footage from when I was driving around, actually throwing down, but I'll show you later a bit more. So this is the action camera. It's not very big. You can see the size of my hand. I've not got the biggest of hands. On the front you've got the power button, obviously the lens, the name of the Campark. On the top you've got the OK. On the side you've got buttons for going up and down, so scrolling. And on the other side you've got the slots for the micro SD card, and then side by side you've got the HDMI output and the micro USB port. So I'll just turn it on by holding the button down for a couple of seconds. See the power buttons come on there, and it's come up with the Campark, and on the screen there it's come up with a couple of little things saying it's recording in normal videos. So here we are, then we're looking at this now. At the moment it's just showing on the screen there, looking at the waterproof case, and it's saying normal video 4K 25 frames per second. If I just click on this bit here at the bottom there, it tells us what we can use here, which is normal video, time-lapse video, slow motion video, and then you've got the photo, normal photo, time-lapse photo, and photo burst. So we'll just come out of that one there, and if I just click on this bit here, and the resolution, at the moment it's in 4K, 25 frames per second, then it goes 2.7K. Now I personally prefer the 1080 at 60 frames per second. But if I just come back out again there, go back into resolution, you can go right down to 30 frames per second, then 720, and then 720 at 60 frames, to 720 at 120 frames. But I personally prefer the 1080p, and then image stabilizer, I've turned that on. It just makes it a little bit less shaky when you're recording. And the loop videos, you can turn it on, so it'll just keep looping it. And then at the moment it's not on there. You've got the timestamp, you've got the voice, so you can put the voice on, so when you're recording it will actually record with the internal mic, which you'll see later on that. Come out of it and it's back on there. Now if we wanted to change over to the camera, just come out in a second, pressure on one, to the camera, go into the photo, so it's on photo now, it's saying it's 16 megapixels. And if we click on this bit here, it's saying resolution, you've got 16 megapixels, it tells you the resolution on it, 12 megapixels, 8, 5, 4 and so on. And the same again, you can do photo bursts on there for 3 photos at a time. You can do time lapse on there for 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Or you can date stamp it and so on. So lots of little things you can do on this one here. So what we'll do is we'll get it in the car, we'll do some recording, and we'll use the Wi-Fi at the same time and talk about how to download it onto your camera.
I'm using the app here, and I'm controlling the on off, and I'm also doing a sound check at the same time. So I don't know how loud it is. It's a built-in mic, but it'll be interesting how it goes. So I'm just going to turn it off, and now I've turned it back on. So it's as easy as that. It's quite an easy mic. It's quite an easy app to use. I'll put a link in the app for it also in the description.
So this recording here is the 1080p at 60 frames per second. I quite like this this setting. It uses less memory than the higher resolution ones. But you have got 6 settings, which is the 4K, the 2.7K, the 1080p at 60 frames per second, which is what this one is. You've also got the 1080p at 30 frames per second. You've got a 720 at 120 frames per second and 720 at 60 frames per second. So there's lots of different settings you can use for this camera, which is great for depending on what sort of memory or how clear you want to get things. This is the 4K at 25 frames per second. I've used the raw footage here. I've not altered it, but it does say in the manual that if you use the higher resolution recordings, then turn the resolution up on it at the same time to get a clearer picture. So you could alter the resolution to get it much clearer, but I thought I'd just show you as it is, and then you've got a better idea if you want to take it from that point onwards, which is not bad. It's just a completely different day than the previous one. And on the next one here, this is where I'm using a waterproof case on the outside of the car. And I drove around for about 10-15 minutes driving around in different areas, and no leakage at all, but it does say it will last up to so many meters. I think it's about 15-20 meters in that region underwater. If you wanted to just take it out into the sea or in the swimming pool, you'd be fine, I think. And on the next bit here, I've got a suction mount, what I've already got, which doesn't come with the box, but you've got loads of gadgets with the box anyway. And I've just mounted it to the side of the car to give you a different action shot, so it gives you an idea that you can use all sorts of things. And you can see how clear it is. That's also using the waterproof case on the outside here, using the remote control app, which the app was fantastic to use. I really like that one. And the time lapse, I had about 15 minutes of time lapse here, lasted about 30 seconds, and then the slow motion. Perfect. I like the slow motion. You can use it in the low resolution. You can't use it in the 4K or the 2.7K, but anything below that, it uses it. And I'm using it in the 1080p, 60 frames per second there. And it's nice and clear. It gives you an idea of what you can do. Recording slow motions. Quite a little fancy gadget to have on the end. Really liked it. Overall, I like the camera. Easy to use. App's dead easy to use. The link's in the description for the app, and there's also a link in the description for the product. So if you like what you see, check it out, and a reasonable price at the same time.